I'm Julie Phillips in Tampa, Florida, and I'm going to share with you in the next 20 minutes or so the most important topic in my natural health career. It is also the most misunderstood topic in my career, and I'm going to share with you now the shocking truth about hydration. Over the last 15 years, I've acquired a tremendous amount of credentials in natural health, and one of them is Certified Professional of Natural Health Sciences, and I also have become certified in something called molecular hydrogen. The little science name for that is H2. I'm going to explain that to you, and it's a topic that's been unknown in all of my peers over the decade and a half in natural health. So let's go ahead now and take a look at what you're going to be learning. The good news is that the most health damaging water that I could choose to drink on a daily basis, it isn't just that it's bad at hydrating, it's that it's toxic. It actually costs a lot more than excellent health improving water that can not just hydrate me, but help make me healthy. So we're gonna go through that. And whether you are just an individual or whether you own a business or are a senior family member, water is driving your life and your health and your business. So whether you're an owner or leader, whether you have employees or partners, and even in your immediate family, it turns out that bad water consumed on a regular basis can actually cause premature aging. So let's shed some light on that. There are 4 primary causes of premature aging that we're going to talk about right now, and the first one is dehydration. Turns out if I was well hydrated, they say my body would be close to 3/4 water. Yet, surprisingly, it is approximated that 75% of Americans are dehydrated and over 50% of us chronically dehydrated. So are we drinking water and not enough of it is going inside the cells? Key reason for premature aging. A second one is toxicity. Chemicals, pesticides, pollution, even stress is a toxicity that's prematurely aging us. And the toxicity is also having a major effect on the next 2 causes of premature aging. And the third one is called free radicals. And some of you may not have heard of free radicals or oxidative stress, but I want you to take a look at the picture here of the little blue guy in the circle with the bandage around his head. We all have free radical damaged atoms in our body that are missing an electron. You can see electrons like to be paired, and if one is missing, the atom in our body will turn around and try to steal an electron from another atom, causing damage and causing a cascade, because that one now in turn is going to turn around. So the green guy you're seeing in the picture is the antioxidant. He says, I'm here to help, I'm the good guy, and I have a spare electron to share with you to quit the cascade of damage. And antioxidants are good guys, but it turns out that fruits and vegetables and other forms of antioxidants aren't really selective. Turns out that there are useful free radicals in the body, such as dealing with infection. So I'm going to teach you how you can drink different water and actually have most powerful selective antioxidant that only neutralizes the damaging free radicals, not the useful ones. And the last one is chronic inflammation. Decades ago, Time magazine had on the cover, chronic inflammation, the silent killer. So these are all 4 different causes of premature aging that I changed my drinking water a couple of years ago, and I'm addressing all 4 of these. There's a book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water by Dr. Batman Gelage, a medical doctor, and you can see the list. If you can identify with any of these issues like headaches, fatigue, low back pain, all the way to obesity, then Dr. Batman Gelage has been treating serious disease and terminal diseases with primarily water for over 20 years. There are few places in the world still left with what the scientists call healing waters. Very lucky people that live to very old ages and they don't get sick. They still have a very healthy environment. And for many years, the scientists tried to figure out, they thought it must be more than the lack of stress, the excellent diet, and the pure water with the natural minerals. And it turns out they were right. There is something special in these waters, and that's called molecular hydrogen, or H2. That's what I said I was certified in at the beginning. So let's go in and look a little closer at what is molecular hydrogen and why is it good. But first, check out this note at the bottom. It says that pure water with molecular hydrogen, or H2, can help address all those 4 causes of premature aging we've discussed. So I'm happy to tell you that I've been drinking this kind of water every day in my home, even though I don't live in a healing water place for a couple of years now. So people will say, Julie, I drink H2O water every day. Don't I get plenty of H2 in my water? And the answer is no. So take a look at the picture here with the big oxygen atom and a little hydrogen atom on the left and right. That is H2O water, and we do need it to become hydrated. Our bodies definitely need water. But look over on the right. What happens is sometimes the hydrogen atoms can actually get separated from the oxygen and bond directly to each other. That is molecular hydrogen. And check out this science website, nonprofit molecularhydrogenfoundation.org. And there are currently over 600 clinical studies naming 150 human disease models that molecular hydrogen is proven to help. Now, I'll name a few: diabetes, hypertension, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, autism, chronic inflammation. You remember that was one of our 4 causes of premature aging. The list goes on, and if you check out one of the studies on type 2 diabetes, the participants in the study did a 8-week of doing nothing but consuming the molecular hydrogen, didn't change diet or exercise or anything else. And what happened to their numbers on 80% of them was shocking as the only change. So this is very good news for every single person. So let's take you back, maybe some of you, to your high school days when we did chemistry, and let's look at the periodic table of elements that everything is made out of. Number 1 element is hydrogen. Has 1 proton and 1 circling electron, and that's it. It's the smallest element, and everything else builds on it. And a very large percentage of the entire known universe is comprised of hydrogen, and we can't get too much of it, but many of us are deprived. So everything that happens in the body, most of the crucial things that happen, whether our body's making energy, transporting nutrients, eliminating waste, all of these require sufficient hydrogen. Now, one of the first people that I exposed to drinking water with molecular hydrogen said, hey, what happened to my heartburn reflux issue? And it turns out that that was actually linked to lack of hydrogen. Turns out that that person needed more hydrogen for the body to function properly, but they were missing out on the way a body naturally produces it with good protein digestion. So they didn't have enough from poor protein digestion, so that when it came back around, they were insufficient in creating their hydrochloric acid. Also, the person didn't have a lot of fiber in their gut and a lot of little friendly flora to do their thing. So you cannot get, according to the science website, too much hydrogen. The body will merely exhale it. So hydrogen is a key issue for health that no one taught me my entire career. Why is H2 so anti-aging? Well, remember we talked about those little free radicals, the guy with the bandage around his head? And we said some of the free radicals are useful. Well, it turns out that H2 is a selective antioxidant. So think of those people in the healing waters. When it goes in the body, and it can come in through your water, it actually goes in and only addresses the harmful ones, which are typically, they're called hydroxyl radicals, OH. Well, guess what? When the H2 says, okay, let's neutralize this missing electron issue, it creates brand new H2O water we didn't even drink. That's very anti-aging. Also, the science website says that H2 is proven to help with obesity and chronic inflammation and many other things. Again, anti-aging. The science website says, well, you could inject H2. It's actually a gas. Or you could inhale it. Or what's a beautiful approach is to dissolve H2, create it using electrolysis. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But electrolysis machines can actually take some of those H hydrogen atoms, bond them together and dissolve it in the pure water. So that's a fabulous way to go. Take a look at the picture of the channel in each of our cells that gets water inside of it. It's called an aquaporin, pouring water in the cell. It's a single file molecule, narrow little channel. Well, if we drink water with toxins, it can hinder the water getting inside the cells where it needs to be. Multiple ways. Number one, toxins in my water could cause the little channel to close up. Oops. Now we have billions of cells, but those that did choose to close up might have difficulty getting the water, and they can even open when they're not supposed to. And another concern is that if the toxins in the water might cause the molecules to collect or aggregate together, they might have trouble getting inside the single file molecule entry. So definitely we want the purest water we can drink. This is a shock to me when I first discovered that plastic bottled water is some of the worst water I could choose to drink. And picture a small chunk of plastic the size of a coin on a hot machine shaped into a bottle and filled with water. And I don't care what kind of water it is, filled with water without letting it properly cool. German researchers did a study of 18 of the most popular plastic bottled water brands in the world, and all 18 of them had over 24,500 different chemicals. You remember we talked about toxins and chemicals hindering water getting in the cells and hindering our health? All of them having 24,500 was a bad enough surprise to me, but they checked the hormone receptor sites that run the hormones in our bodies, male and female. And all 18 brands, in less than 1/10 of an ounce, hindered the activity of the estrogen receptor sites, normally thought of more for females, 60% activity, and the androgen receptor sites for men, 90% activity. So that was a big shock. Picture a pumpkin pie. There's the little diagram here, the little blue pumpkin pie, somebody took a slice out. That's what you can think of as estrogen receptor sites, and the men have them too, and the children have them too. So when a 12 or 13-year-old girl starts producing real hormones, estrogen, it goes right in there like that missing piece of pie, fits perfect and goes click and signals growth. What is it going to grow on a young girl? It's maybe in the chest area, maybe hair in different parts of the body to turn her into a woman. What could the fake estrogens that are coming out of the plastic bottles, they're also in other foods like chemical and pesticides and preservatives. Those are called xenoestrogens. They can go right in that slot, and they're not real hormones, but they fit just good enough to go click. And who wants toxins in my plastic bottled water to signal a growth of a breast tumor, a prostate tumor, or even something in a child? So how long do you think that it takes for the inexpensive, cheap plastic bottles with the recycle one in the triangle at the bottom to decompose? They estimate about 450 years and 1,000+ years for those heavier plastics. So we're hindering, major jeopardizing our own health, the health of our environment, and the ocean life, the bird life. So I would just say no to plastic bottled water unless that's all you can get your hands on. Some people think it's good to drink distilled water. I would definitely pass on that. It's referred to as dead, unstructured water with no minerals. So there might be a risk of now the distilled water, over time, drinking it lots, may pull minerals from the body and lead to risk of things like irregular heartbeat, blood pressure, cramping, things like that. So I don't want to drink distilled water on a regular basis, and you'll notice from the picture that a lot of people actually go buy that in a plastic bottle. In the same study that tested 18 plastic bottle power plants, they also tested purified, that's a key word, purified tap water, and found that it did not hinder the either male or female type hormone receptors at all. So bottom line, I'd take anybody's purified tap water over any brand of plastic bottled water any day, but I want the highest purity I can possibly get. So I have a well, and it's a very toxic situation, and I have a whole house filter like you see on the left, and it gets a lot of the big toxicity out, including some of the other people's pharmaceuticals are coming into my well, and I don't take pharmaceuticals, but now it's going to send cleaner water into all my sinks and bathrooms and shower and fridge. And I do use extra filters for the fridge and the shower. But when I put water in my mouth to hydrate my body, I want the best water that I can put. So I'm going to show you a few topics here in the middle here on the next page and what we can do to filter our tap water. But I want to get some molecular hydrogen in there as well. And if I'm going to carry my water around, I want to carry it in a glass bottle with a protective sleeve. I can throw it in the ground, it won't break. I prefer that even over stainless steel. I don't even recommend the heavier plastics with the higher recycle numbers. Protected glass is my favorite. For many years, people really were promoting reverse osmosis. That never spoke to me personally. It does have a great reputation for filtering very well, but again, no molecular hydrogen. And now here's the story again, that it takes out the minerals. So you remember my concern about not having minerals in water that I drink consistently. As it turns out, reverse osmosis not only doesn't have any H2 in it, but it actually, because it has no minerals, it cannot even be fed into the third choice you see here, the ionizer machine. That's my choice because of the lack of minerals it can't produce. With electrolysis, the molecular hydrogen, you'd have to put another filter in between to remineralize that. So the ionizers have been around, that's my favorite, for over 40 years. It's a technology that actually will address purity, it'll address keeping the beneficial minerals, it will address the molecular hydrogen, and it can be pretty maintenance-free. Many ionizer machines have a forced pH approach. pH is acid-alkaline balance, and it's not the drinking water pH that is what makes us healthy. Some people are spreading a myth that extreme high alkaline water, if you drink it all the time, diseases cannot grow in it and that it'll make you healthy. Very not true and not backed by science. I like the kind that deals with a natural pH and focuses on purity, focuses on molecular hydrogen. That's the key. So when you're looking at them, the forced pH is not my choice. I also want to obviously keep the good minerals, the beneficial minerals. When you make electrolysis, do you remember the water molecules? You have H2O. Electrolysis has an anode and a cathode electrode. And it basically is going to allow some of those H2s to form by pulling hydrogen atoms off and bonding them. Well, with an anode and a cathode, all the technologies except one will actually scale and build up calcium on the cathode, for example, and it'll hinder how much molecular hydrogen can be produced. And I love the approach. There's only one that I know of that's patented that alternates with every use. Anode cathode, cathode anode, so it's virtually impossible to build it up. Therefore, it's maintenance free. So I encourage you guys to take a simple first step. Drink more water, maybe less soda and coffee, which can have a dehydrating effect, they say. More fruits and vegetables, the natural organic kind. Less plastic. Analyze your water, your tap water. Find out if you are on city or county water, you can just say, here, show me the report. But on well water, you can find out what are your issues. And then go buy some gallons. Ask me, Julie, where can I go buy some gallons of water from a doctor's office, a health food store somewhere so I can try it? Because believe it or not, sometimes people will tell me, Julie, in the very first day, guess what happened to my breathing or my energy or my sleep or various things, or hey, what's going on with my heartburn? So definitely, I encourage you to take a first step like that. I was quite surprised to find that there is a chart on the internet comparing my favorite and my least favorite drinking water, and it turns out that the ionizer that I use cost 26 cents a gallon over time. And if you look at the last number in the chart here, we're looking at column 3, price per gallon for those big heavy jugs delivered to your home in plastic is $1.49 a gallon. And then the other forms of drinking water, there's some examples here ranging from $1.59 to $8.82 for those high dollar waters per gallon. Compare all those to the price of 26 cents a gallon for the water, and then take a quick peek at the 1-year cost and the 15-year cost. So bottom line is you can actually, my ionizer, I did get it for $0 down and less than $30 a month. So it's it saves a lot of people money by not buying the plastic bottled water. We're free to make choices, but we're not free to choose consequences. And if you're the leader of a business or a family, your choices are bringing consequences to all those people involved with you as well as the environment and to everyone's health. So make good choices is the key here. I have become a representative for the type of water that I use in my home for the last 2 years. So if someone else asks you to watch this video, if they are a sales agent in their area and they ask you to watch it, get back with them if you're interested in pursuing this. But otherwise, get back with me, Julie Phillips, 813-695-4372, Julie at WOW, W-O-W, it stands for We All Offer Wellness, -simplified.com. And I will be happy to help you to change your life. So this is the one most important step, excellent hydration with added benefit of molecular hydrogen and the beneficial energies. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you.